What's this? It's gold, gold! Does it have chocolate in it? Hey everybody! Well, today I thought we could take a look at these cool prop replicas. Now this is the Fertility Idol from the Indiana Jones movie, the famous scene at the beginning of the movie where he puts the sand on the base to try to steal the idol without setting off all the booby traps. But now this one here is from Locoape, I guess is the company that makes it. I got these from Toynk, or is it Toynk? I don't know how you pronounce that company's name. I always assumed it was Toynk. And I bought it from them. Now there's two different ways you can buy it. You can just buy the idol itself for $100, or you can also get the stand here, and you can get the two together for $150. So I went ahead and just splurged because I wanted to get that base because I think it looks pretty cool. Now there are a million different versions of these floating around out there on the internet. Especially eBay, I mean there's a ton of them. And there's different companies that make them. This company seems to make a really nice one. There's also a Disney version, but for the life of me, I don't know why it is so expensive. It's just the idol itself, and I think they want $300 for that. I mean, it's crazy. This says it's actually gold-plated. I don't know if it's actual gold, and I don't know if the Disney ones are either. And I hesitated even buying one of these because for the longest time, I always had this one right here. This is, hopefully it's in focus here. Yeah, so this one here, I've had this one for years and years. I probably had this for about maybe 20 years. Let me see if I can scoot it back. 15 or 20, I would say closer to 20. And I can't even remember where I got this. It's a rough sculpture of this. It's not, I mean, it looks pretty rough. It's heavy as heck. I mean, this thing is like a solid chunk of resin, and I think it's definitely heavier than this, just from judging from the weight of the box. You can see it's got some rough kind of molding, and especially down here and especially on the bottom here, you can really kind of see how it's not molded very well. I did recently paint this because the original paint that was on it was kind of starting to wear off and it wasn't looking too good. This paint here is just some Krylon gold, which actually looks pretty good. So because of that, I wasn't really in a rush to go buy another one of these, but I definitely want to try and see how this looks because I think it's going to be pretty cool. All right, well, anyway, let's open the base first and see what it looks like. All right, so let's start with the base first. The base is definitely heavier than the idol itself. These are made of polystone, and I love polystone. It's a really nice material. You get some really good detail on there, and it feels good and hefty and solid. So let's open this up. Another thing you'll notice that there is no mention of Indiana Jones on the box. It just says this Chachapoyan, I guess is how you pronounce that, idol. And so I think it's because, you know, these aren't licensed through Disney. I think Disney now owns Indiana Jones, which is kind of crazy. They own everything now. That's the back, by the way. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Oh, nice. Okay, so we have this styrofoam right here. Oh, well, there goes that piece. All right, make sure there's nothing else in the box here. And let me make sure that this isn't in the way. Apologies for that. So here it is packed inside this nice foam. It feels cold. Ooh, wow, that's looking pretty cool already. All right, let me get all this out of the way. Of course, we'll get closer look at all of this. Man, this thing is heavy. Oh, wow, that looks nice. Look at that. Wow, that looks cool. That is a solid chunk of polystone right there. This looks really nice. The gold painting that they did on it. Let's see what the bottom has. It just says made in China, like everything. But it looks pretty cool. All right, so yeah, we'll get a closer look at this. But this is one hefty chunk of material right here. All right, very cool. All right, well now let's open up the idol itself. Alrighty, so here is the idol. Curious to see what the shine on this looks, how it looks. There's the other side of it. Okay, we got some more styrofoam here. Let me see if I can get this out of here. Okay. And let me get the box out of the way here. Now, this is probably upside down, so let me flip it back over. That's weird. There's a lot of static on this thing. Okay, so let's open this up. Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, wow, that looks nice. Look at that thing. I'm so used to not seeing it this shiny because I've been looking at that other one for years. So this goldish chrome gold looks really nice. This one is definitely smaller than the one I have. Take this off. Wow, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at that. That is some serious shine going on here. On the bottom here it says Chachapoyan Fertility Idol gold-plated limited edition replica 2019. Locoape made in China. So they're limited editions apparently. I wonder how limited they are. Sounds like a good solid piece in there. Wow, that looks nice. There's a few scratches I'm noticing on here, which is probably just unavoidable. But overall, this is looking pretty good. Look at that. Wow. That is just awesome. Looks like they missed a little bit of the gold right here. And, all right, well, let's get a good close-up of all of this, and then we can take a better look at what it looks like. All right, so here it is all set up on the stand. And there's a few things about this that I've noticed that might be kind of an issue. Now you'll notice I have to tuck a piece of foam under there in order to make this thing stand up straight. And that's because it's got a really small area for it to actually stand on. And I'll get into that in just a minute. But the overall look of this is really cool. I think the stand definitely does add to this. Because if you watch the movie, it isn't on a pedestal that looks like that. I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't know if it had this diamond pattern on here, but I'm pretty sure it did. Now here you can see, let me try to get close up to the idol here. I want to see if you can kind of see there are some scratches on here. You can kind of see it on the forehead area right there. And then there's kind of a lot of them right here. And there's probably some on this side if I can recall. Now it's not going to be perfect. I mean, whenever you have something that is like this, there is going to be issues. And of course the camera also makes it look a little bit worse than it does. It almost looks like there are cracks in there versus just scratches, and maybe they are, I don't know. But you can see that there are some flaws on the finish. But you know, this would be a really hard thing to get absolutely perfect on there. Yeah, so you're going to mostly notice it on the smooth parts. I mean, you can really see it on the forehead right there. The mouth looks like they didn't quite get the paint all the way in there, or the plating, you can kind of tell, which would be hard to do. Here's the side of it. Looks like the corners are pretty well done over here. Let me see if this ear has the problem. The other one, this ear looks pretty good. I'll show you the other ear in just a minute here, but look at all the nice hair detail that's going on here. This all looks really good back here. Same with the butt area. Now this ear here, you can kind of see it right there. See how they didn't quite get the paint or the plating in there right? So that's a little annoying. That's kind of a big area that they kind of missed right there. I suppose I can always return this and get another one. But yeah, it's just got a few things that aren't quite right. Yeah, really close inspection, you're going to notice this stuff. Now the stand itself is actually perfect. Everything on this looks really, really good. These diamond-shaped parts, they're just painted on, but they kind of look like they're inlaid in there. Looks like it's made of real stone. Has a little bit of weathering here on the edges, which also give it some realistic looking you know, features. It does look like it's made of like a rock material. It is really heavy. It is a heavy piece. You can see the nice little pattern going on here at the bottom. I would say the base actually looks better than the idol, which is kind of sad to say that. All right, now let's get back to this piece right here. All right, now the reason that I had to prop it up is because if you look at the bottom of this, it has a very small footprint for the weight to stand on. Now I peeled the sticker off of here because I hate when they put stickers on these collectibles, and you can see that the foam actually had a couple of holes in it, which may be another reason why they put the sticker on there to kind of hide those. This foam, though, is a really thin foam, and you can tell they hastily put it on because it doesn't really match where they should have, and it looks like they just kind of slapped it on there, especially right here. It kind of curves around. See how it's curving around right there? But because of that, the foam actually makes this really unstable. I mean, that's not a whole lot of area for this thing to sit on. So when you put this on here without the foam, it's going to fall forward. See how it just wants to fall forward? Because there's just nothing, it's just the weight is not distributed right. So you got this small little area right here. Let me scoot it back a little. That's trying to hold up this weight, but all the weight is forward, as you can see. So, yeah, I don't know what they could have done to fix that. I'm assuming they're trying to keep it, accurate. So I put a piece of foam in there just to kind of hold it up. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do to try to make that look better. Maybe a small piece of plastic that's clear or something like that. But I think I may end up just peeling off that foam altogether on the bottom. Looking back at the bottom here, I think it would have been better had they just not even put anything on here. Because if you take this off right here, you can actually see it's peeling off the finish. It actually is peeling off the plating. You can see it's stuck to the rubber right here. And you can actually see the bare material that's underneath there. You can also see there's a hole right there, which means that this is hollow, which explains why it's not quite so heavy. But see how that's just nice and flat under here? That they should have just left it, not bother putting on this rubber, and just kept it flat. I think it would stay on there better. I may end up peeling this off. I don't know what I'm going to do about the paint not showing, on here, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that, to be honest with you, because, I mean, not being able to set this on here is kind of a bummer, without having to have some kind of support in there. I don't know how everybody else is doing it. Maybe theirs sits better than this one. I don't know. I think that rubber really kind of messes things up. I may have to figure out something on that. That's kind of disappointing, especially for $150. All right, so I went ahead and just peeled off that bottom stuff. You can see what it looks like underneath there. And, it's much more flat. So let me see if I can do this while holding the camera now. You can actually set this on here, and it definitely is flatter. Now, see, I can actually just leave it there and it'll sit. So yeah, that rubber piece actually is not very good. It's still not very stable though. I mean, if I was to put this where you walk by it, which the place I'm going to put it is going to be a place where it's going to get some traffic, just a little bit of a shake is going to make this fall forward. It's very front heavy, and that's going to fall down. So I think what I'm going to do is, now that I got that rubber stuff off, I'm going to use, let me carefully put that down. I'm going to use this stuff right here. I'm just going to use this Fun Tack. It's like that clay material mounting putty. And I think I'll put a little bit along the front here, the front edge, and maybe that'll kind of like make it lean just a little bit, but also make sure that it sticks in place. So I'll try that and see what that looks like. Also, I wanted to show you, this is the original head. Man, this thing is so much more heavy. That's what this one looks like on the base right there. Yeah, that one looks pretty good, actually. This is the size difference between the two. Let's see if you can kind of see. I'll try to get a more straightforward view of it, but you can really see how much smaller the one from Toynk is versus the other one. I'm not sure which one is actual size. I think they used 2 or 3 of these props when they were making the movie. One of them was a stunt version. That's the one they were throwing around. The other one's more of a hero version, which is more gold like this probably. And also the hero version had real eyes in there. You can actually see they have like glass eyes in there. And I don't know why I've never seen any of these with the real glass eyes in it. Just about every one of these replicas, I see it looking like this. So I'm kind of surprised nobody actually put glass eyes in any of these yet. All right, well, let's try that mounting putty and see if that works. All right, so I just want to show you that's how I put that on. Just a small little roll of it on the front there, and then I'll smush it on the base and see how that works. All right, so there it is now, all mounted, and this stuff works great. Now you can see it a little bit under there. You can see the blue showing, and I don't know if that stuff is paintable. I wonder if it is. I could probably maybe paint the edge of it gold just to have it blend in better, or even black maybe, or like a dark gray to blend in with the base. But this definitely does hold it. I mean, it's now, most of the weight is going towards the back now, which is the way it should be. So it doesn't make it quite so front heavy. Here on the side, you can kind of see the weight is just distributed much more evenly. But yeah, that looks really good. So yeah, if you decide to get one of these, maybe yours will fit better on the base. I don't know, but it just seems like even if it was flatter, it really wouldn't fit very good. It just, I don't know. I think they could have done something better with the bottom, but maybe they were trying to keep it accurate to the original prop. And who knows how they had the prop on there. They probably had something like that stuff to mount it on there as well. So, you know, who knows what they used. But this does look really good. Here's the other one, just for size comparison. Now that you can kind of see them side by side, you can see how much bigger this one here is. And it's definitely heavier. This is a chunk of solid stuff. That one must be hollow. But the chroming on that looks so much better. And yeah, that one's really cool. Now, if you can deal with the imperfections in the gold, with the cracking and the crazing, it's not real bad, but when it hits the light a certain way, you will see that, and the scratches. And like I said, there's, I mean, anything like this that's electroplated, or however they did this technique, it almost looks like a spray paint, to be honest with you, the way they missed this area. You know, I mean, there's just flaws on it. There's some areas of no gold behind the ears. Also in the mouth, they kind of missed that area. Maybe in some of these corners, like right in, way in there, and also inside the ear. I mean, it would probably be hard for them to get all of that in there. But so if you can tolerate that, I would say it's a pretty cool piece. I mean, it's all right. I don't know, 150 bucks though. That was with the stand. Like I said, you can just buy the idol itself for 100, or just have this for let's see, what was it? Well, it was $50 with this set. I'm not sure if you can buy it for $50 separate. If you already have one of those, the stand definitely does add a lot to it. So anyway, I got this from Toynk, and if you want one, they still have them. I got it off of Amazon. I went to Toynk's website. They also have them there. They're supposed to be limited editions, but nowhere on the packaging or the box or even the idol itself does it ever have an edition number, so it doesn't say how many there are. I don't know, I'm always a little skeptical when they say limited edition and they don't put a number on it. It's like limited edition to how many that they actually sell. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. 150 bucks. I don't know if it's worth quite that much, to be honest with you. If it was a little nicer as far as not having these cracks on it, if it stood up a little bit better, if the paint or the electroplating or whatever this is was more uniform and didn't have some patches of silver showing, I would say maybe it's worth $150, but I don't know. I guess maybe it's okay. But overall, it's a cool piece, and I'm glad I got it. All right, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Also subscribe if you'd like. I'd really appreciate it. And in the meantime, I guess I'll see you on the next video. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.